Right, so we're going, yeah?
Yep.
Brilliant.
Let's find out what's gonna happen.
Right, well, my name's Sondip,
I'm Daniel.
and this is our first, I guess, conversation on camera. I was going to use the word podcast, but it's a conversation on camera.
Yep. Let's say that will be our own unique formula, and we'll find out how it works for us.
Okay. So let's talk about how this came about. Whose idea was it?
Well, it's hard to identify at the moment because we've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah.
Sitting in sauna.
That's it, mate. Which is how we first met.
Yep.
At the gym. And I've always said that's interesting that we're both in the sauna, and I can't remember how, but the conversation geared towards, I use the word spirituality, but I don't know, it was like a deep conversation, which sounds a bit cheesy, but I could tell that we both had similar interests.
Yes. Well, we were talking about many things in sauna. It was a good time. Since then you moved to a new sauna, to a new gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still in where I was. But how it started? It started that we had a lot of funny conversations in the sauna because that was like how I see sauna is basically when I do training. After training, it's like a treat.
It is.
Yeah. It's not easy because it's hot, so but I never liked, I'll be honest, I never liked sauna. It was always too hot for me. But when we started going over there, and and having those conversations, there was like 10-15 guys inside.
That's it, mate.
And sometimes we were joking about silly things that I cannot even understand sometimes. See, it's not really limitation, it's just more like it's not about my language. It's more about the slang. You grew up in this area, so you kind of understand everything. Where I need a little bit extra time.
Right. What to understand what people are saying?
Especially jokes. Like normal conversations. I'm okay with. But some specific things, for the certain areas in UK, it's like, it can be challenging, especially like, I remember when I went to West Yorkshire first time, and I went for interview, and the guy told me to take my coat off, but he said, take your coat off. It's like, what?
You don't understand what you're saying.
What is coat? And coat. He noticed that I don't get it. What he's telling me.
Which is good.
So that's what I mean. In England, you're moving few miles away, and certainly people speak differently.
They do, mate. The accent, especially West Yorkshire. West Yorkshire's quite, I think, one of the stronger accents in Yorkshire, they say.
So maybe specify where we are now. We are in the South Yorkshire.
We're in Doncaster, South Yorkshire. Yeah.
I'm a little bit distracted by.
Well,
I don't know where to look. Whether the camera or the
well,
where we are.
Like you said earlier, I think when you're in a conversation, you tend to look at the person that you're talking to.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to know what other.
So by the way, this is our first try, and we want to keep it natural. We want to keep it as it is, uncut, and just talk about some things, having some conversations, and find out how it goes.
That's it. Yeah, but going back to what you said.
Because back then in sauna, we were joking. Maybe I will get like this. Maybe not joking. I had an idea that how cool would it be to have a podcast like in a sauna, where everyone is sweating, suffering, I need cold shower, and that will be hilarious.
He has a good idea, because some of the places they do their podcasts in, there's Kevin Hart, the actor.
No.
The little black guy.
No.
Always making fun of The Rock. Do you know who The Rock is?
Yeah, I know The Rock.
Yeah, well, anyway, him. His podcast, he's in a flipping ice bath. You know what an ice bath is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do theirs in an ice bath.
Hmm.
Yeah, which is interesting. I wonder actually how cold that water is, because it seemed to be in there for a long time.
Well, that's interesting. You see, this morning I was in sauna, and do you remember Jordan? Which one Jordan was? Yeah.
Is it your mate whose wife is Polish?
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, I spoke with Jordan that I've mentioned to him that we are going to make like a pilot podcast today and see how it goes.
Yeah.
But I've mentioned to him that I will be going to do a sauna podcast. This is like one of my dreams. There's loads of dreams I have, but this one I will make it for sure, because this one is one of the biggest ones. And I asked him if he was on Doncaster Sauna's website, because you can see the models. That basically there is a company in Doncaster that makes saunas. Right. Yes, so you can buy it.
Yeah.
Put it in your back garden.
Yeah.
And enjoy it. And I asked him which one, from what you've seen over there, which one would you choose? And he straight away told me that there is like a round one. So basically, it's like a tunnel. It's like a long barrel where you sit on both sides. They have multiple lengths, so you can have 6, 8, 10 people, whatever. But on one end you have entrance, on another end you have like a window or something. So I thought to myself, oh, that will be cool. This one. I was actually thinking about the same. So I took it as a sign.
Yeah.
That that may be way to go.
Right.
And it wasn't very expensive to run, because it was only taking 6 kilowatt hours. So
yeah, how much is it to buy?
A few grams. So well, we can make a challenge. Once we start monetizing this channel, basically it will pay itself.
So that's what you do. You get your own sauna. You won't just take a camera into a public sauna. Probably not a good idea.
No, public. No, it needs to be like it needs to be private sauna. We need to get sauna first. But well, it's a long-term dream. So I think
that's a good idea.
Before next winter season, we may get to the point where we'll basically purchase a sauna. We'll put it on the yard, on the garden, and connect it.
And how long will the conversations last for?
It will be, I'm also thinking about, because that company also builds like you've mentioned of ice bath, yeah.
Yeah.
So they make like they actually have an offer. I think it's one model where you have kind of a barrel where you getting on the ladder and just drop yourself into the cold water, and it's with aggregate, so it keeps it cool no matter what the outside conditions are. So that's a cool thing.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
We could have multiple cameras, one in the sauna, one in the one outside, where we can do like ice bath.
so you're in the sauna for a bit of time, and then you come out and you do your ice bath and you carry on with the conversation.
Imagine how hilarious it would be. You're hot like a sun, and getting out because you have enough, and then just jumping to ice water, and screaming like a girl,
Yeah. or taking it like a warrior.
Or yeah,
which is the way forward. Yeah.
Silent. Yeah, that's cool. So we see there's so many interesting ideas that we can implement in the near future. But you see, with everything is the same. You have to do a first step. So today we're just making the first step, and hopefully someone will like it.
Yeah. You sent me a message saying that you had that there were some podcast ideas. Do you remember that?
I've sent you. You know what? I'm a king in the field of sending short videos to people.
Yes,
So my phone is recording now, so we're using camera.
I've turned mine off.
So I can't really check. No, I can't check.
Well, that's all right. I just thought you might know. You might remember what some of the ideas were.
No, let's skip it. We'll leave it for our next one because this conversation is basically well, it's been planned, but only the only thing that we've planned that we're gonna do it today.
That's it. The conversation hasn't the topic of choice or whatever.
Yeah, so there is no
We're gonna
script.
speak about-
We're just talking about things, and we'll see how it goes. I prefer to improvise, but
Yeah.
I guess that for a future, I'll have to organize myself a little bit better. So I take it like a personal challenge.
What would you like to be more organised?
Well, maybe a little bit of script, like not reading from from prompter or something. More like
What topics to discuss?
yes. Let's say something happened, something huge happened, well, we're not going to talk about Donald Trump because it's already happened, but I don't know what's here to happen. I don't know, Andrew Tate becoming a British Prime Minister. We could talk about that.
Well, he said he's gonna run for Prime Minister, right? He said this a few weeks ago now.
Yeah.
And has he said anything else since?
I'm not following that, I just don't have time to follow everything, but that he and his brother, they're recording a lot of things,
Yeah, do you think he just said it to get attention? I say attention as a publicity stunt.
Might be, but actually, from what I've seen so far, this guy is not joking.
About becoming Prime Minister?
Yeah, I'm taking him seriously. I don't think that he said that for attention. No way.
Well,
he will do it.
Yeah, good for him. He should run for it.
Yeah.
He should run for it. It'd be better if... I say better. I'd like to see him and Reform UK begin talks, whether they could work alongside each other. You know who Reform UK is?
Is it the one with Farage?
Yeah, Nigel Farage.
I'm not really following the politics. I don't like it, to be honest, because they are all these guys in general. They are liars, in my opinion. They basically, the whole idea around politics is historically, I believe, this is my personal opinion, the whole idea about politics was to replace religions.
All right.
Because I do believe that religion's been created, to control societies, to control people, and that has been not fully, but it was working in most countries. It was working all together. Politics and religion was basically linked. I'm originally from Poland, so in Poland, religion and politics they go hand
hand in hand.
Hand in hand. Oh, yeah, that was what I was looking for. So they trying to split them. That politics is politics and religion is religion, and don't mix it together. But I don't think it's possible in Poland. So that's why my perception is slightly different than what you can see in here. In UK, religion is not as powerful as in the other areas of the world. So
is religion still, to use your word, powerful in Poland?
It was.
It's a Christian country, yeah.
Catholic Church, yeah. But people used to be more religious, but not in the way like other religion. I'm not going to mention anything specific, but from other religions, people are more into religion. In Poland,
is it more about values that a religion brings?
Well, religion definitely had some influence on the older generations in Poland, but now people walking away from religion, they claim that they are Christians, but you cannot really feel it, that this is the thing, people claim that they're religious, but their actions doesn't
say that.
Yeah.
Do you reckon Andrew Tate would become a liar if he's a politician? Sorry, let me reword that. I think Andrew Tate would begin lying if he became a politician.
You see, I kind of like this guy because I watch what people do, not what they say.
Right.
And he did way more than he was talking about. You know, people tell him that that he's talking a lot, but actually he's doing a lot, and he's not joking. He already proven a lot of things. He's a world champion in kickboxing, so
world
4 times or something like this. So,
right.
So
not to be messed with.
That guy do what he says. So that's why I wouldn't ignore that. He's definitely following his statements. That's why if that would happen, if he would really become prime minister in UK, well, I would get more interest in that field. But at the moment, Farage, I don't trust that guy.
What is it about him you don't trust?
He's a proper populist. He's a proper liar.
Yeah.
I can feel it. It's like I cannot really explain it, but you see, I remember a moment when he was leading this nation to towards Brexit.
Right.
And the moment when it was voted that everything is done, we're doing Brexit, he just moved away.
Yeah, because...
Yeah, he had a good explanation. Like I said, he's good in talking.
What was his explanation?
Not very good in doing.
What was his explanation?
That his goal was to get to the point where Brexit has been voted,
yes.
and that's it. He's done the job. So
yeah.
basically, so his goal created some consequences, yeah.
Right.
And a real man, a man that does what he says, takes responsibility, yeah.
What should
and he didn't. He walked away from the responsibility
of
his own responsibility.
The responsibility of
following what he started,
which was to get Britain out
to
of the
make
EU.
Brexit, in a proper way. He just left it up to others to do.
Because he wasn't a member of Parliament, so he couldn't do anything after that.
Well, he could still be involved in other ways, some kind of support, if where there's a will, there is a way, and that guy had no will. That's what I'm talking about. He just walked away. I understand that what I'm saying may not be good for you now, because I feel that you kind of like this guy.
Well, when you say kind of like the guy, that's a good question.
I'm not saying I dislike him. I'm just describing.
He's someone that I've paid attention to.
Well, yeah, he's how do you call it? Attentionist. He's good in grabbing attention. He's good in
capturing attention. Capturing. Yeah, I guess you could say capturing attention.
So basically, people wanted to So what was the situation? Loads of immigrants from European Union. Since I'm in here since 2012, I've heard endless amount of time that I took somebody's job. Even though I was doing things that nobody else could even understand what I'm doing.
Shit, man.
Like programming robots. What the?
Yeah.
When I was doing this, I'm in my natural environment, yeah. And for me, it's like for others taking a hammer and a nail and put it into the wall. For me, programming robots it's kind of natural. I've been born to do things like that.
And you're not doing it anymore, are you?
Well, I don't enjoy it anymore. It became boring, and also environment I used to work was terrible. Like I say, people were claiming that I took somebody's job. It's like, what are you talking about? This is my job. Can you do this for me? Can you replace me? No, you can't. So what are we talking about? And basically, when you have situation in the country that that people actually the way they see the reality is like that example that there's a lot of immigrants taking the jobs. Uh, well, naturally, they will want to get rid of that problem, yeah, because if there will be like I was asking, what do you mean by that, and they said there will be no loads of immigrants, so the wages would go up. So that was the thing. People are basically greedy, and the greediest people I ever met are the poorest ones.
Really, yeah.
Yes, because you see, they see to a certain degree. I understand when the market is saturated. There is loads of people
Yeah, the demand.
on the market, that suppress the wages. Yeah?
Yeah.
If there will be lack of
People,
workers
yeah.
available on the market, well, then prices must go
Wages
up
must go
because
up.
you want to attract the best specialists in that area to your business. Yeah,
Mm.
but we're not talking about specializations. We're talking about regular workers, in the factories, etc., putting, sandwiches together, very popular job in England.
What, making sandwiches?
Yeah, a lot of people doing this because that doesn't require any skills. And people working
like
in those,
sandwiches.
yes, and people working in the factories like that, they were complaining the most that, that immigrants taking their jobs.
Right, so there's a lot of English workers,
Yes.
because we're in England.
Yeah, so you see that there was many claims. Another one was NHS, etc., etc. It's all rubbish, because so now we don't pay to European Union. We don't pay any fees on annual basis. So there's multi-million or billions, withdrawn from European Union. Now we have that money. Where are they going?
Foreign aid. Where's what going? The money? Or the people?
Yeah. So we have the money that we used to spending to European Union. Now where are we spending it? Definitely not for NHS.
No.
So you see, that's what I'm talking about. It's all they're all populists. They want something to be done. They mocking people up. Through television, through radio. They purposely, deliberately picking on the subjects that they know they are very sensitive about, and they firing it out. They over-promising, under-delivering, and and who is accountable. And you see, these people are not capable to hold anyone accountable. That's it.
Mm.
They're only falling into emotions, and where is the, like quite often on the social media you can hear all these feminists. Where are all the good man? Where all that masculine man? Well, here's the thing. Not in this country.
There's none in this country.
There are some, but
Define masculinity.
would you involve yourself in that madness, knowing that you have to battle all these emotional people?
Define masculinity.
Define.
Yeah. What does it mean to be masculine?
To be it's more like to be a man. It's so masculinity. It's for me. It's equal to be a man. And the man controls his emotions. It doesn't mean you don't feel them. It feels you can control them. So it's more like stoicism.
Yeah.
And
so to understand your emotions, yeah.
Yeah. So we already spoke, and he's a good example. Both Tate brothers, I would say, they are good examples of masculine man, and there's nothing wrong about it. People criticize the funniest thing is toxic masculinity is like, where did they get that from? They are two opposite things,
What is toxic masculinity?
It doesn't exist.
Right.
It cannot exist because you either have masculine behaviors or you either have toxic behaviors.
Yeah.
So how they can be put together?
Well, maybe people who are acting in a toxic way, thinking that they're masculine.
So we see people in power.
Masculine.
How I see it is people in power. They coining terms like this in order to diminish. Like masculinity should be seen as something positive. Yeah.
Right.
But if you put in front a negative term like toxic,
yeah.
Well, then masculinity is not that good anymore because you have toxic masculinity. When you say the world in public, that we need more masculine men. In the head, people hear like toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There is like equality sign between them.
Yeah. Well, I think that maybe a lot of people do see that, but there are a few. I say a few. There are a number who have sense they understand there's a difference between masculinity and being toxic. They don't buy into that narrative, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I can give you example of weak man. So that's what I would. I wouldn't use toxic masculinity, but non-masculine man. Yesterday, I parked my car, you know, and the guy.
Wankers.
Straight when I parked, you know, I was basically I needed to charge my car. So I parked in reverse, and I was on the call, and I had to end straight away because I'm sitting in the car ready to get out. First I wanted to finish that conversation, and I felt something like this, you know. It's like, whoa, what happened, you know? And I see Golf in front of me, just basically pushed me, you know, bumped me, not massively, just, you know, I felt it, you know. It was that strong that I just basically did like this, you know. And it took me a couple of seconds to figure out what actually happened. I get out from the car, and the guy just running around, and he's, oh, sorry, mate, you know, it's like, you know, nothing happened, I only touched you gently.
Right.
I finished that conversation, walked out. I said, okay, fair enough, let's have a look, you know, what happened, you know. Oh, it's not my fault, it's kids. It's like, made me laugh, you know, like, how come? Did you allow your kids to drive your car?
Yeah.
No, but you know, they just jumping around, you know, put the seatbelts on. It's like, come on. I looked around and said, you know what, nothing happened. Go away. I don't want to talk with you. Basically, I immediately felt that, you know, that lack of responsibility, you know, he did it and he was blaming his kids.
Well, at least he wasn't aggressive towards you.
He was so weak that, you know, that the wind would bend him down, honestly. And that was kind of sad to you know, to interact with someone like that, because, you know, I thought to myself, you know, I could exchange, you know, insurance, etc., but I thought to myself, oh, fuck it, you know, nothing happened, you know, so oops.
Yeah.
We have to watch the language.
Yeah.
I'm not good in that.
No, I've noticed twice. I've used foul language. Yeah, I'm just thinking about this masculinity and being weak. Oh God, it's too much to talk about right now, you know.
Yeah, so that's the thing. You see, we're dealing with.
How have we gone for? 28 minutes.
Yeah, we're dealing. I was actually checking for a gigabytes, because I don't know how much space I have on this.
Well, should we wrap it up? We've done half an hour.
Well, we can. How long would you like to have it?
Well, for me, for this first time, I think half an hour is a good run.
Well, I think we've touched a couple subjects.
Yeah.
We could talk more about it.
Right.
Yeah, so just to summarize, you know, so that's what I see on a daily basis. I can't see, right, like I either see like that type of guy, you know, which is basically, like one of my mates would call it, you know, snowflake. It's really sad to interact with people like that.
Yeah, someone I know uses the word snowflake.
Or you have another type of weak man. They look like a proper man, you know. You see they are muscular, you know, they are trained, etc., etc. They look good, handsome, and stuff like this. But the way they interact with environment is kind of rude, like kind of a bad boy, you know. But when you trigger them, you see they have zero control over their own emotions.
And that's ego.
And these are the most dangerous people that you can meet, and there's loads of them in this country. Loads.
What's so dangerous about them?
Because they are strong, they are dangerous, so they make an impression on women that, you know, that they are valuable, but they have zero control over their own emotion. If you trigger a guy like this,
anything could happen.
Anything can happen. He can pull the knife out and, you know, do something whatever he wants. Yeah.
So and the key is to identify those type of people.
Yeah. So basically, you
stay away from them.
The only thing you can expect from guys like this is expect the unexpected. The best way is to walk away.
I agree.
And, I see them on the streets all day long. Usually many of them drives like a van, like maintenance guys. Yeah, guys doing some buildings.
Right.
Important things, but they like I say, if you pull them out from that comfort zone, they basically they completely losing the ground. They're losing control over themselves. They will be raging on the road or anything, absolutely anything. So that's how I see, roughly, of course. That's main two male types I see in this country. Not only in this one, in Poland, there is not many rude ones. There is actually majority of the weak, soft guys, people pleasers and stuff like this, because that's how we've been raised at that time.
Yeah, that's another thing. People pleasing, dear God. Yeah, that comes down to low self-esteem. I think if a person's got low self-esteem, they need someone else they need to do well for others, so they get praise in order to make themselves feel good. That's people pleasing for me.
Yeah, well, roughly, yes. It's more complicated than what we think, but on the other side, the difference between that type of personality and that bad boy personality is that the bad boy will either hurt people outside of himself, where people pleasers, they kind of
hurt themselves.
Yes, they are more inward.
Yeah, man, interesting stuff.
So there's so many. I've never paid attention to it, but I had no choice. I had to start watching people and trying to understand them, because you see, when I was in Poland, we have. I used to work in industrial environments, dealing with machines, with robots and stuff like this. So,
right.
So for me, it was like happy days. Because I've been designed to deal with machines. So I feel good with that. Machines always do what I want to do.
That's your calling.
Where with people, like body language and stuff like this, not for me.
But you've learnt a lot though, haven't you? So you're probably more self-aware and I'd say socially aware than what others are.
So you see, when I moved to England in 2012. I had to work more with people, because it was quite shocking to me, how advanced the country I came from was against this country, technology, in the manufacturing environment. In here it's like, in some factories I've seen like manufacturing process that the same way like it used to be 50 years ago, and it's like, whoa, that's terrifying.
Oh, they've not moved on.
Exactly. Where businesses in Poland has been established like in the early 2000s, etc. They've been so people get used to a different environment from the scratch. So in here I had to rely on the people. I had to start, if I had to implement some new processes, I had to work in line with people, and quite often they were against, changes. They don't want to change, so I had to find a way how to convince them in a positive way to start doing what is needed to be done to simplify the processes. I had to learn how to read people to a certain degree to get what I need to be done.
Yeah, of course.
Where machine just change the code and that's it. And that's what you want straight away. No hesitation, no discussions, just
working with a computer.
Yeah. So I had to learn how to interact with people. It's like. I've been basically watching some podcasts about I cannot class myself as an expert, but I see some major types. I can quickly identify who I'm dealing with, so I can decide, you know, which way I want to go.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. 'Cause going back to what we said earlier,
Fight or flight.
yeah, man. As soon as you realise someone's bad news, get out of there. I have to go.
Okay.
But I think we've put a good effort in.
Yeah.
You know. So I'll say goodbye for myself.
Me too. I'm not gonna continue that on my own.
I should be.
But definitely I'll start doing something on the side as well. And we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely.
Simple as that. Thank you for listening and see you next time.
See you later.